The battle for bucks dominates every speech, committee, and story in week one of the '09 legislative session. Where's the money going to come from, and how much more will be cut? It's all about the fiscal fallout on Powerplay with our guests, Joe Follick, reporter with the New York Times Florida newspapers, and Aaron DeLotte, bureau chief of the Orlando Sentinel. So the governor's State of the State and legislative leaders' speeches are all rife with the bad news about the bleak budget.
It was. I think for the first time since I've been here, Charlie's very muted response. Maybe it was the 6 o'clock start time. People were tired out at the end of the day, but it seemed very rote and not especially inspirational for anybody, more like a chore to be gotten through rather than a bold vision for the future.
Well, all they have to do in a session is pass a budget, and pretty much it's going to be the ongoing story of these 8 weeks.
And it's something that they can't even start in earnest on yet until they know exactly how much federal money they're going to be able to draw down, where it's going to be able to be spent, what week they should roll out their budgets. The House and Senate don't even agree on when they're going to present their budgets. So there is total chaos in terms of drafting a spending plan right now.
Well, terrible irony, it'll be Friday, March 13th, right, when the new revenue estimates come out, and nobody's estimating it's going to be up. It's going to be down even more.
Right. I mean, the ad valorem rates came in this week, talking about $1 billion less than they expected just on those taxes. The EDR guys, the economists, they do their best, but they tend by nature to be a little bit optimistic, so you can only imagine how much deeper it's going to go.
So we're not spackling little holes in the wall anymore. These are giant gaps, and how will they be filled? Where's the revenue coming from?
Well, this is a structural problem that Florida has put off for years and years trying to deal with, and that is the over-reliance of sales tax, the over-reliance on real estate sales. And it's not something that you can solve in 1 year. It's not something that probably will be solved in 2 or 3 years. The money's going to come from a variety of different types of revenues as they try to, create another stool, essentially a stool leg for the stool to prop up
well, there's some imagery for you. So let's tick off these new sources and give a handicap on their prospects for success. Back and forth. What are they? Cigarette tax, $1 a pack?
That's an option. That's a sexy option that's out there. I think it's more likely that they're going to try to broaden the sales tax, essentially make it a more stable source by drawing in more types of activities.
But what you're really saying is repeal some of these long-held exemptions on some industries and services that have been lobbied to get into law.
Yeah, I think we're still SPAC on this year, to be honest with you. I mean, you're going to get $400 million or so from sales tax exemptions in a best case scenario. Cigarette tax, I think the value of that's going to be overstated. You're going to have a lot of fees. We're not going to raise taxes. We're going to raise fees on bottled water and things like that. You're going to do the court fees again. They're going to try to do that. I think we're still SPAC on this year.
Well, the news is so bad in Florida with the budget picture that it certainly affects state politics. People are already jockeying for position for next year, the 2010 ballot. There's still a lot of whispering that Governor Christ didn't remove himself from speculation of the U.S. Senate race. Does he get in it or not?
I don't know. 4 months ago, I'm not sure if he knows yet. I think 4 months ago I would have said absolutely not. But now he can leave saying, hey, I did what I promised to do 2 years ago. I addressed property taxes. I addressed property insurance. See you later. I mean, he can say that he's done what he's accomplished. He's done what he's set out to do. So maybe that gives him the cover to go ahead and leave.
And if he goes, Aaron, it's possible U.S. Senate, Governor, Attorney General, CFO, and Ag Commissioner are all open seats. What a fight that's going to be.
It's going to draw in people that have all been trying to avoid running against each other. It's going to be wide open field. You're going to see hundreds of millions of dollars spent.
And Alex Sink, a lot of people are already saying if the governor goes to the Senate, she's likely to be the front runner in either party to be the next governor.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go to your respective power plays of the week. Joe.
Well, not a whole lot of winners this week, obviously, but I think Craig Fugate comes to mind. He is I mean this with the highest of praise. He's a real guy, an average guy, no college degree, starts out as a volunteer firefighter, but it's fitting that the biggest success in Florida this week is the guy who's going to head the National Disaster Management.
And he is the master of disaster, so he'll do a great job.
He is.
Aaron, your power play.
By default, I have to go with House and Senate Democrats, simply because they're not going to cut spending and they're not going to raise taxes. They just have to maintain a pulse, and they come out winners in this session.
Okay. Joe Follick, Aaron DeLotte, thank you very much. For the latest political news, go to the Safety Review, and we'll see you next time on Power Play.